Yeah, Truth Tigers here live. I'm gonna give this a sec just to get some more people in here. I also want to make sure I can see the chat and stuff like that. Just give me a sec here to figure this stuff out. Yeah, so yeah, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the live. Um, yeah, just gonna give it a few more seconds. Just give it a little bit of time for somebody to get in here. And there we go. We got somebody here. Hey, what's up? Cool. So we got somebody here. That's awesome. So yeah, we're gonna get rolling with finding warmth in this cold world. Because the times we live in now and like the world we live in now, it's very isolating. And one thing I want to talk about is even when you are in a group and with a group and stuff like that, like a lot of times you as an individual, your sense of who you are, you don't really feel like you get to even be yourself. So a lot of times it's like you're around a bunch of people, but you still just feel so lonely. It's very yeah, it can be very isolating, and a lot of people like have friends, but they don't really get to ever be themselves. And hanging out with their friends is like this weird prison sentence where they're like, oh man, I could have had my Sunday all to myself, but then me and Brad hung out and he brought his girlfriend over and one thing led to the next. We went to this winery and da da da. And it seems like it's this big fun time, but really they're worn out, they're exhausted, they're not really they're not really happy. And yeah, yep, thanks to everybody who's in this. Yeah, thanks to everybody who's liking this. That's good. Yeah, let's try to get a little more traction on this if we can. Get a couple more people in here, but not a big deal. Oh, General Twinkie says, like your videos, man. Thank you so much, General Twinkie. Very glad to hear it. Yeah, I love to help people. I love all the support I get. And really, we're both helping each other. Like, I learn so much from people's comments, and I learned so much just from the process of doing this. And yeah, videos like this really helped me, get to where I need to be in life. Just real, raw, not too much filter, relatable, not really standing up on this thing of moral authority, like I'm this big, great guy, or I'm this big, smart guy, or anything like that. Just someone who's able to try to talk to people, eye to eye and stuff. General Twinkie says, I'm trying to go no contact with my parents. I think I might have to leave my state. Yeah, if you got to leave your state or, go no contact with your folks, you got to do it. I've had to go no contact with my folks. It's not fun. It wasn't an easy process. It hurt me a lot emotionally, but yeah, it was not fun. Andrew says, I'm a narcissist survivor. Your videos really resonate with me. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Yeah, that really means a lot to me. But yeah, I mean, going no contract with the parents, that's a tough one. But I had to do it because just the respect wasn't there. And I'll go into this maybe in a video, but with my parents, it was just like they always had a weird idea about me. They were either jealous of me, they were either like really admiring me in a weird, creepy way, or it was like they thought I was some fool they could take advantage of or something like that. So yeah, he said, yeah, setting boundaries is difficult, but I'm learning. Yeah, it's tough. And with family, man, it's so hard with family, especially with your parents, because they've been your parents since you've been a little kid. You came out of them, they birthed you. It's tough, but they've taken advantage of that position, and them as the parents should have been bigger people. They should have had bigger morals and ethics, and they shouldn't have been narcissists. So it's tough because it's like you don't want to get in those arguments and yell at them and fight with them and stuff like that. But I just can't have my peace around my parents, unfortunately. I wish the situation would change, but just it's so exhausting being around him. I remember going over to my dad's house. I'm just angry and frustrated the whole time there. It's all these games and theatrical stupid stuff he's got to do, and then getting the phone calls from my mom, and they're divorced and they're talking trash on each other and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, they feed off negativity 100%. Oh yeah, big time, big time. Tons of negativity. They're always gossiping. They're judging. They're trying to like compare me to another sibling and get a sibling rivalry going, and it's just so much. It's so much stuff with the narcissistic family, and it's just a toxic dynamic. And for me to be who I need to be as a person, for me to be healthy and sane and stuff, I had to cut them out. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, it's a hard deal with the narcissistic parents, and they do a lot of damage. I think they've done the most damage because you're a little kid, you're vulnerable, so you're gonna get smashed by that. It is what it is, and now your adult life is healing, recovering, learning how to be, how to set boundaries, regaining self-esteem, all that stuff. So yeah, and I mean this ties in pretty well to this this cold world we're living in too, because it does start in the families. Once the family goes cold and the family's negativity and the family is backstabbing and the family is every man for himself, that causes a butterfly effect on the whole community. And yeah, like all of a sudden people's families are messed up, and then the community becomes messed up because the community consists and is constituted of people's family. Are you going to the funeral of your parent? I would say yes to that, but I even had a point in my life where I was very angry, where I was saying no. I think I still would, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna sound dark and messed up, but before I went no contact, I remember I was thinking like, if they just passed on, I would just be free of this burden and I wouldn't be obligated and stuff like that. And I know that's messed up, and that wasn't the right way for me to be thinking. And going no contact, I definitely have a much different approach, and I hope they can change and stuff and whatever. But yeah, I was thinking that, and I mean, honestly, my grandparents are narcissists too. It goes generationally, and I can tell you when my grandma was passing on, like, my mom, not to get too personal or too to the family, but my mom and really all of us were just like, all right, we're ready for her to go. Like, we don't want this to be dragged out too long. And I know that sounds dark and messed up, but she was really, I mean, my grandma was an especially bad narcissist, very malignant, total Jezebel, total when I was a little kid, I thought she was gonna like scratch me. She was just nasty, and it's unfortunate. And my parents, I don't think are as bad of a case, but yeah, I mean that's kind of what the narcissists are going to inherit is children that are just like, can you please just pass on? But yeah, I would say just go no contact, and I guess I'd say go to the funeral. It depends how your siblings or family is. I mean, everybody's situation is different, so I can't kind of give one size fits all advice. But generally, I would say like going no contact is 99% of the time is the way to go. Yeah. What's up, Josh? How's it going? Yeah. Again, General Twinkies asking what helped me move on emotionally. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say any tips or tricks that helped me move on emotionally. It took time to heal. I had a time in life I was very depressed and feeling very hurt and very in pain, and I had a lot of his physical health issues and going to the doctor, and blood pressure's high, blood sugar's high, but all this stuff's messed up. And Andrew says, do I have brothers and sisters? I'll get back to you, Andrew, but yeah, like you just got to move forward and press forward in the end of the day. Like that's really all you can do, and it just took time for me to heal. So yeah, I just had to just take time to myself, chill, push myself to work out as best I could. But I work out 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week on a good week, because health issues and just with depression, I had to force myself to get outside, and I also had to just be like, it's okay if I'm just gonna be a weirdo and stay inside and just feel crappy. It's fine. And the healing process is running its course. So you got to just move forward as best you can, but not beat yourself up too much, and just kind of work, rest, and you'll get better. But when you're in the hole, it's hard to kind of see that. yeah, so I hope that's helpful. And yeah, I do have brothers and sisters. I have a family I come from. It's kind of tough. Right now, I'm just taking a break from the family. That's what I'm doing. But, there are some problems with some siblings as well and stuff. But those problems are not as bad as the problems with the parents. So, yeah, just, yeah, family like anybody else with brothers and sisters. I want to maybe, I've been getting pretty personal, so I do want to dial it back on the personal stuff a bit. But, yeah, so yeah, like our communities are all messed up, and like it starts in the family, it starts with childhood, and you have these. All of us are like these children that feel unloved, and we're seeking healing, we're seeking to be better, and we're seeking to move on and improve in life. I'm gonna read your comment right quick. Sorry I missed that. Let me pull that back up. Top chat. There we go. When I lived with my narc GF, her parents were trying to kill by hunger. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry to hear that. I don't know what was going on there, but maybe some dark stuff. How did this take place? Yeah, that sounds pretty. They were legit. Yeah, legit. Sometimes, yeah, narcissist situations can get crazy. Sometimes they can legit try to really ruin your life or hurt you, or maybe even. I mean, like when you get so narcissistic, before you know it, they're gonna become a sociopath or a psychopath or a truly evil, creepy person. So there could have been some bad stuff going on there. But but yeah, I'm going to kind of get off that topic and yeah, get back to it. It's like we're these little kids, and we're seeking healing. We're seeking to be better. We're trying to heal our inner child and heal these pains that our traumatic families have given us. And the thing is, the narcissists aren't doing that. They're not healing the pain. They're just being egotistical and you know. The narcissists are letting this family damage internalize within them, this damage they have from feeling unloved as children and stuff like that. And, that damage they have, they are projecting it onto the rest of society and putting that hatred and that, jealousy and all this like me, I need attention, all that selfishness, and they're just like sucking society dry. And more of these narcissists are being produced by messed up families, and having all these narcissists out there is destroying a sense of community because these narcissists kind of go from place to place. They don't build, they just destroy. The thief cometh to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what these narcissists are doing. So we got all these narcissists out there. Yep. Thank you for that, Josh. We got all these narcissists out there, and they're turning our world into this cold, lonely world, and I would say us chosen ones or us enlightened ones or just anybody with decent morals really who like actually loves their fellow, anybody like that is bringing light into the world and bringing love into the world. But like that house, it's within all of us, that house of community that we desperately need in society. It's within all of us, and with most people they're just kind of empty shells, unfortunately. And when you're in a world full of empty shells and stuff, it's like, where do I cleave myself to? Where do I rest? Jesus said, Son of Man, turning to God as my true Father was the best. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, God is very important. And I used to feel very lonely and stuff, and sometimes I still do, but I remember when I really realized that I wasn't alone and God was with me, and it changed me a lot, just knowing that. And I never really felt alone or isolated ever again. And really, despite the fact that I live alone and I have contact with other people, obviously. I'm not out in the woods by myself, but I have pretty limited contact with other people. I have kind of some friends here and there, but I don't really have a lot of friends and stuff. But even in this period of quote unquote isolation, I feel more like, I feel more like I have community and I have people around me, and I feel more like loved and like, just being by myself. I do feel that sense of love and warmth as opposed to being around kind of these cold, backstabby kind of people or these weird kind of NPCs that are very zombie mode and kind of the way they move through life. Like I feel a lot better being just by myself and stuff. And Yeah, so I really think that rebuilding community, it comes from, yeah, I'm solo, dude, and I love it. I agree with you, Josh, on that 100%. It's the way to go. If you can find other like-minded people who have your same values and who are, not about the manipulation and the narcissism and who have a spiritual path and all this kind of stuff, you could be happy. But if you're around other kind of people, you can't really fully be yourself, and a lot of these other people, they're not really going to have your back or come through for you when you really need it or support you when you really need it. So at the end of the day, you feel very rejected and isolated hanging around these people, But yeah, when you're by yourself, you just feel like, hey, like nobody's going to stab me in the back. I kind of know what my environment is. I'm able to have at least some kind of sense of control, Yeah, I'm finding some of them online. Yeah, Josh, we're all finding each other here. That's really a big part of what I'm trying to do here. Is to try to get us together as a community. And I've had some ideas for things I could do, like a website or maybe something like that. Gonna probably be a while before I'll do that, but it teases hot mess history. It's definitely better to be alone than be surrounded by the wrong people. 100%, yeah. And I'll need to check out your channel too. I know I said I'd do that in a comment, but I am a history nerd, so I'll check your stuff out. But yeah, and it's like when you're around these people, it's like I wouldn't be making these YouTube videos if I was around all these fools and narcissists and all these backstabbers and stuff. Like, I wouldn't be hustling and growing and doing and actually like doing good things in the world and helping people and living a better life for myself and all that stuff. Yeah, another thing. Yeah, it sounds like you're dealing with some crazy people, not showering and stuff. Yeah, it probably had some really bad case there, but yeah, it's like when you're by yourself, like I have time to just like live my life, be happy, be normal, heal. Yeah, Josh, the entitlement, yeah, people have their egos and you have to feed their ego constantly, and that's exhausting, So when you're just able to be by yourself, you don't have to feed people's egos, you don't have to deal with these people. You can just, you can grow what you're doing. You can, move ahead in your grind, move ahead in life, regain your self-esteem, regain your happiness, regain your health, stop being depressed, stop being anxious, yeah, and you can move forward. And like this fellow was talking about in the comments about his crazy situation, like it really is a prison with these people. I'm still in the same city. Yeah, I feel that too. I'm in Seattle, and I think about getting out a lot, but yeah, I mean, the guy who's commenting about his like psycho situation, like it really is like being in prison too. Like when it gets bad with the narcs, like that's like being in prison. That's like being locked in a basement full of freaking spiders and stuff. Like it's not a good situation. Like it's creepy with the control that a lot of these people can you know that a lot of these people can do, and it can really become a psychopathic, creepy, insane situation. And like narcissists are really controlling, really destructive, and you can get pulled down they want to pull you down into the dungeon with them. They want you to go into their creepy world with them. And some of these people really are like creepy, psychopathic people. They really are. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like these situations can get bad. They can get seriously abusive. They can get seriously creepy because it's like you have one level, someone's constantly criticizing you, but da da da. Then before you know it, it's this and that, and then before you know it, like these people, yeah, can cause a lot of destruction and can do criminal things, insane things, nuts things. Yeah, like gang stalk you, watch you, like these people don't really have morals or ethics, and you don't really know what they could do. So that's why I usually say just get out. If you gotta like sneak out in the middle of the night, do it. Yeah, like in the Bible, that's what Jacob did to get away from Lavan or Laban. He snuck out in the middle of the night. So yeah, you got to. And yeah, the gang stalking is weird. Yeah, a lot of the stuff they do is weird, and it's like, that I mean, all this gang stalking and stuff, like that's a symptom of this cold world we live in. If people were warm on the inside and were good with who they were and all this stuff, they wouldn't need to do all this creepy behavior and watching you and all this kind of stuff, But like they do, and yeah, I've had to deal with that a little bit. How long you've been studying the Bible? I've always studied it on and off, you know. I don't read it as much as maybe I should, but I've gone through some phases in life where I've really hit the Bible hard and got close to God hard and stuff. So, yeah, you know, and I think the Bible is pretty deep, and it's kind of like a mystery, and I can solve mysteries pretty good, so it's like that. T says you have a point about therapy. Therapy, yeah, and yeah, I'll talk about therapy for a sec too. Therapy is expensive. Most therapists are not really good at their job. A lot of therapists lack empathy. A lot of therapists are narcissists. A lot of therapists are a part of this cold world. They're a part of the matrix, you know. So, yeah, you know, a lot of times you don't get help from therapy, unfortunately. And I have talked about that a little bit in other videos. But yeah, you know, the therapy thing can be tough. And if you can find a good therapist that actually gets it and understands narcissists and, you know, realizes that the world's like a messed up, screwed up place, then yeah. But if you have some therapist that just, I've got my degree, I read the book, and I'm going to sit there and listen, and, you know, they're just, you know, doing what the Matrix is telling them to do, they're not going to help you at all. You know, they're really not. Yeah, these people can throw you in an asylum. Yeah, these people can drive you crazy. You know, he's very right about that. And, you know, I literally watched a video on schizophrenia, and a guy said that, like, you know, my parents and all these people were always yelling at me, criticizing me, all this stuff, and eventually your mind just can't take it anymore. And he said, and then before you know it, my dresser started talking to me, you know, and it's like, yeah, I get that, you know, because something just, you know, broke inside me. Yeah, T's very right there. TI's hot mess history. Yeah, good therapy. If you can get a good therapist, 100%, 100%. But, you know, with the therapy thing, you got to do your research, because I've gone into it just kind of going in blind, going to some random therapist, and it wasn't good, you know. It really wasn't. So, you know, yeah, finding a good therapist is very important. You know, I'm a guy, I'm stubborn, I don't like going to therapy, I don't want to go to the doctor, I don't want to do any of that, you know, that's just kind of me, I'm gonna fix it my own way, you know, that's just kind of how I am. But if you're not stubborn like me, you know, find a good therapist, sure, and just be very careful though. And if you find a therapist, that you're gonna have to probably go through a bunch of them and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, your videos are more helpful. Yeah, again, I've heard that comment a lot, that, you know, my videos are more helpful than therapists. And it's like, these therapists, they, I believe you gotta, you know, go to school for like 6 years at least to be a therapist. Maybe you gotta do a residency or something, I'm not sure. But it's like, all that school, all that education, it's like, you know, if they're still narcissists, if they lack empathy, and like if they don't have any common sense, if they're just like, I go to school, I do exactly what the book says, you can't solve any problems, you know. You're just a robot. And if a robot encounters a problem that's not, you know, that's not programmed to solve, the robot will be completely helpless and will not be able to solve it, you know. And but if someone who can think for themselves will be able to learn the new information they need to learn, and will be able to solve that problem. And you know, robots are also cold, you know. So a lot of these people, they are kind of cold, narcissist, robot type people. And like someone like that, they could have all the degrees in the world, they could read all the books in the world, they're not going to be able to help or heal people. It's just not going to happen, you know. Yeah, it's really not. I would go out with them. They kept seeing shadow people. Honestly, what this guy's talking about, like, I've been around some bad case narcissists, and a lot of them, like, this is going to sound weird, but I'm a very spiritual guy, and, like, the first step to being a dark witch or a dark Satanist or a dark, I don't know what you want to call it, but the first step to being, like, a devil's priest is to be a narcissist. So a lot of them are kind of like doing witchcraft and stuff like that. And I actually had an narc that was trying to do witchcraft and things of that sort. He wasn't successful in it, but yeah, they will start to go down that creepy road because they want to gain power and stuff. So if you have a weird spiritual narcissist, they could start to get into witchcraft and stuff. And you know, when you get outside of the Western culture too, there's just a lot more of that stuff going on. So yeah, narcissists and witchcraft can be connected. Just gonna grab a sip of water here, y'all. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get back to the topic of you know, of this cold world we're in, you know, because like society wants to tell us that the world isn't cold. The Matrix wants to tell us that the world is warm, you know. Yeah, dude, burn sage. Mine burn sage. Praise to quote unquote God. Yep. So yeah, I'll need to make a video on that on narcissists and witchcraft because I did see that and it was pretty weird and startling and strange and stuff. And this guy claimed to be a Christian and all this kind of stuff. These people were just chaotic and not only witchcraft, but you'll find more pyramid schemes, more scams, more. They're into more weird mishigas and more weird stuff. Mom would say she hates God. Yeah. And I can tell you, like, I had a video that went into the spiritual pretty good, and it attracted some demonic people. And, one of them literally commented, I wish I was never alive or dead. I wish I had non existence. I wish God and the devil didn't exist or some insane stuff. And it's like, these people are kind of demonically possessed at this point. Outer Space Tarot says, I practice rituals for protection and transformation. Good intentions only. Yeah, I mean, I believe in Jesus here. I would recommend not doing all that stuff. But, like, look, I'm not here to be, all judgmental and stuff like that. But I would say just read the Bible, seek out God like that. But again, we're not, this isn't like a place of judgment. I see a lot of problems in the church and stuff like that. And I've dealt with a lot of those issues. So, yeah, but yeah, I don't really mess with that type of stuff. But yeah, back to this cold world. Yeah, this world is a very like society wants to tell you that everybody's having fun and everything's fine and the world is not this cold place and like people are happy and it's not true. They try to tell you it in the movies. They do the advertisements to try to tell you it, and it's so cynical. I don't believe in God. I'm not religious. Yeah, I mean, I feel that same kind of way. Again, I don't practice tarot or anything like that. But I do feel the same way where I believe in God. I'm not religious. I believe in Jesus, and God does show me number signs and things like that. And there is numerology within the Bible, especially the number of the beast, 666. So, there is like some stuff to it, but with the tarot stuff, I'd be a little bit careful though. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I have to walk my dogs, create your own warmth. Yeah, T, go walk your dogs. Thanks for stopping by. Really good, really glad to have you. Yep. They need to be looking to God for answers though. Not. Yeah, I feel that. And again, yeah, it's a very good point, Josh, because I met a lot of narcissists in church and they thought I was like a prophet and all that. This is like weird stuff. I don't really talk about this a lot, but we're on the live, it's Sunday, whatever. But they thought I was like a prophet and they would always want me to pray instead of them. And I know I have the Spirit of God with me and that God is with me maybe on some level I am a prophet, but it's not like I saw God booming in the thing or I'm getting all these prophecies and stuff like that. It's more just like I have morals and ethics and things like that. And I do have spiritual unexplained phenomenon and stuff like that happen too sometimes, but yeah, it's but yeah, I mean, I was there with them and they're telling me I'm a prophet and they're looking and I'm trying to tell them like, look, I'm just another person, we're all followers of Jesus, just look to God, you don't need to look to me as as that. And yeah, so yeah, it was a weird vibe that you get from them. They know we're good people deep down. So yeah, but yeah, like society tries to tell us that people are happy and stuff, but you look around, most people are not happy. And if like you look around in like liminal space, like if you're just kind of walking down the street like a fly on the wall, which I can do, you know, you'll see couples and they're fighting and they're unhappy, and a lot of people feel very alone in their marriages and their relationships, and all that type of stuff. Yeah. How I found out they used to ghost me. But yeah, I'll take another look at what you're saying there. I'll see if I could help you out. Live chat. Let's pull that back up. How I found out they were narcs. They used to ghost me. Can you talk? I mean, brother, if they ghosted you and they're narcs, like good riddance. Getting rid of narcissists can be hard. So being discarded sucks and stuff. It does. I've I've dealt with that, where you think it's good with somebody. Yeah, ghosting is a control move. It's like, yeah, it's a power move. It's like yeah, ghosting is like, I don't need to talk to them. Like, oh, my time's more important. And narcissists will do that. They'll try to keep you on red, and they'll try to take longer to respond to the text message. And yeah, and Josh is probably right too. They also, once they know they can't play you, they kind of move on. They can't do the games anymore. But yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and just getting back to the cold world, like, I mean, this world we live in, like, I see all these commercials and advertisements and stuff like that, and I saw a really funny one for like some kind of a Kia or a Hyundai or something. And it's this woman, and she's on a date with a guy, and it's like a bad date. And then it's like, well, the Kia something will save your night. And then she goes and drives home in like her Kia SUV, and she's happy and stuff. And it's so cynical what they're doing. It's like, I mean, they're laughing at us. They're literally saying to that woman, like, oh, you're single, like, you buy this car and it'll make you happy. And that's what they do. Buy this thing, it'll make you happy. You're some. And they know people are struggling. They know people are going through divorces. They know people are unable to find love, unhappy in their families and stuff. So they're like, buy this thing and you'll be happy, Do consumerism and you'll be happy, And look, I want to have nice things. Who doesn't want to have nice things? But consumerism is not going to, bring you true happiness at all, It's not. It's a narcissistic impetus, Yeah, be careful of their gifts. I wish I would have listened to that, because I've had a lot of narcissists in my life. They're always trying to give me this, give me money, give me food, whatever. And I've had to literally block a narcissist on Venmo, as insane as that sounds, because they're trying to like buy you, Yeah, they try to buy you, They think you're for sale. They really do. Hiram above. I live around utter twats. They inherited my mother's home. But okay, let me see if I can get all that. It's low by low. It's all about medical decisions. Yeah, living around narcissists is annoying. But yeah, like they're trying to essentially sell us on this idea that if we like buy things, we'll be happy if we do this. And it's like, happiness comes from the inside. It comes from having a good heart, having a true heart. It comes from being on your life mission. And, not being on your quest is lonely, It's just isolating, It's like they want you to be a slave, basically, and just live a life of ignorance, essentially, and be ignorant of your spiritual path and your spiritual goals and missions. And, it's just like nobody around you is really there. And, I talked about this in another video, but I'm going to bring this back up. Like, I watched a video from Las Vegas of a woman in a swimming pool, and she had some kind of cardiac arrest or some seizure or something in the pool. And she's by the stairs of the pool. Her head is under the water. She's drowning, this woman is about to die. And people walk past her. People look at her, they look away, and this woman's under the water. Finally, someone comes in and saves her, and she doesn't die. But, like, it's just like, dear God, like, those, like, 5 or 6 people that just were like, a guy literally walked right past her like she was nothing. And it's just like, how could you do that, You're going to just let this woman die, And I've seen a lot of stuff like that. I saw a video of a guy getting attacked by pit bulls, and all these people are filming him, and then this German Shepherd comes in and saves him from the pit bulls. But, like, it's like, yo, like, you fools are just sitting around filming, and, like, the dog actually is like, oh, I saw that one. She ended up passing. Oh, man, I thought, oh, geez, again, humanity's worse than I thought. I thought someone saved her, but she ended up passing away. Yeah, bystander effect. Yeah, it's just, people are willing to step over someone who's hurt, who's dying, who's suffering, and, like, even people around you, you have some coworkers, some friends, they're struggling, and, I try to talk to people about stuff. I'm not going to necessarily be able to save everybody for every situation, but if you're in a bad relationship or you got a bad situation, we'll say, I'll try to be as helpful as I can. And, if I see someone fall off their bicycle or have a heart attack or something like that, I will run and help them, like, I remember where I used to live at, like, my neighbor was elderly and he had some kind of a fall, and I ran right over there, helped pick him up, he didn't want the ambulance, whatever, but helped carry him back to his house and stuff, and yeah, says don't take any dollars off them, I push harder than the programming. Yeah, you don't want to take money off the narcs. But yeah, it's like, most people just don't want to help anybody around them or care about anybody around them, and if we're not kind of caring about people around us or helping people around us or, holding each other up or holding each other down, like, what's going on, a real one can admit to being wrong if you know people. Yeah, very true. Yeah, having the humility and, being able to self-reflect and stuff. And yeah, narcissists can never admit they're wrong, bro. That's a whole separate video, but yeah, no, like, dude, my grandpa, malignant narcissist, really bad. He would literally miss a turn and he would say, vandals, switch the street signs. He's an old guy. Vandals, switch the street signs, and yeah, we have hypervigilance and a strong sense of, yeah, we do. I would say that definitely. We are very vigilant. I feel like I'm very, very vigilant and, keeping up on things. We understand how it feels like, yeah, exactly. So we try to help other people because we know what it's like. And yeah, I mean, so many times where I'm just like, somebody give me a hand, somebody help me out. And they're like, help yourself out. And it's like, well, it can take me 100 points of effort to help myself out, or it can take you 5 points of effort to help myself out. And you're just so selfish, that you won't even help me or help anybody. And it's like, that's why there's so many people suffering and so much suffering in the world, is people will not help each other, and man, I've had that so much in life where just like, if you gave me, and I would always give someone a hand. If I see you on the ground, I will help pick somebody up. It doesn't cost me very much at all. It doesn't take very much of my time at all. I will help lift people up 100%, because it doesn't cost me that much. And now they're up. It's like, here's a better metaphor. Let's say someone, you have a candle. And your candle isn't lit, and they have a candle. And they can just take their candle and light your candle. But they're saying, no, you have to find a lighter. You have to take some flint and bang it against a rock and get a spark and do it like that. And you have to learn it the hard way. And And it's like, you could just take your candle and put it on mine and light my wick. And I would do the same for everybody. Always. I will always do that for anybody. And anybody who doesn't, it's like, it doesn't cost me anything. I take my light and I light your candle. Easy. But these freaking pigs have to say, you need to get your flint, and you need to do this and that, and da-da-da-da. And like, they will pour water on your wick, They will pour water on your wick and make it harder for you. And it's just, man, it's really, really, really freaking ridiculous what they'll do. And it pisses me off to no end. It really does. And it's just like, man, it costs you nothing. It's so easy to help another person. Why can't you just help out? And I'm not saying you carry people on your back and you're there trying to fix everybody's problem and solve everybody's problem. That's not realistic. But just listening to someone, someone's going through some hard breakup, or you're like, whatever, bro. But, if you're doing that, like, no, if you're like, hey, you can talk to me for a few minutes. What's going on, or if someone's having someone messed with them, and they're dealing with a narc, or they're just dealing with a manipulative situation. You try to bust it up, These other people are just like, whatever, I take a peek at the chat here. I haven't looked in a little while. Let's see here. T advice. Maybe most human beings are just selfish. Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Most human beings are selfish, and we are kind of the odd ones out because of that. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Dude, I have a mind-blowing letter in my mom's room is telling of what will happen today. Yeah, Hiram, yeah, your mother has a letter that tells of what will happen today. Your niece wrote it. Yeah, that's a trip, man. You might have some spiritual people in your family. You also could maybe have some dark spirituality and stuff going on too. I don't know what your situation is exactly there. So I couldn't say that. Giggle like children. Oh yeah, I've seen that. And yeah, the narcs are childlike. They act like little kids. They're just like little toddlers that haven't grown up, you know. That's essentially what it is with the narcs, is they are like these bratty 3-year-olds who never grew up. So they're and going around like, we're gonna get in trouble, you know, and that's how irresponsible and undeveloped and underdeveloped and low they are, you know. But yeah, you know, so it's not a fun situation with the narcs at all, you know, and they make this world the cold place that it is, you know. Yeah, the etymology means common sense. Yeah, conscious, to know together, common sense. Yeah, I actually do know that, Hiram. Yeah, conscience, common sense. Yeah, that's something people just don't have, is common sense. People are trying to follow society's programming, and society's programming kills common sense. So people don't know how to be, where to go, what to do, what's going on. They have no freaking clue. We're all just hanging upside down, basically, you know. And part of what we're doing is we're saying we're getting right side up. We're not. They record everything. I've had to deal with that. Yeah, I've had to deal with that one. That's not fun. And you know, yeah, at some point you want to. I mean, I got to a point where I'm like, I'm going to take your phone away, and that wasn't good on my part, and I had to just leave. But yeah, you know, they do. Let's see. Bushcraft Quebec says they only talk to you to gather intel and tell you how wrong you are about everything. Argue. Yeah, blame their problems on you. Yeah, yep. It's jealousy, comparison, it's projection, it's just stupid drama and BS, and just causing problems for no reason. So yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right about that one. You know, that's what they do. That's 100% what they do. Yeah, I mean, they're just like these negative voids. You know. They're just like these holes of negativity is what they essentially are. They're a negative vortex black hole, and you know, yeah. So it's just dealing with them. It's not fun. Mobile number. Yeah. So it's just dealing with them is just yeah, black hole of negativity. You know. But yeah, getting back to what I was talking about before was people just follow society's programming. They don't think for themselves at all. They have no conscience or no common sense, and they can't solve problems for themselves unless some quote-unquote authority figure told them to solve that problem. And they're just waiting for quote-unquote authority figures to tell them what to do. And they let quote-unquote authority figures, yeah, NPC programming, yeah, they let quote-unquote authority figures tell them what their morality is, you know? And I mean, the morally bankrupt governments, the morally bankrupt religions, the morally bankrupt education system, the morally bankrupt corporations, the morally bankrupt United Nations, the morally bankrupt whole cabal and system of the world is morally bankrupt. And they're, oh, tell me how to be ethical. Like, no, they can only tell you how to lie and how to manipulate and how to, you know, do underhanded, sneaky stuff. So people think like being some kind of narcissist is like a moral thing. And, oh, I'm getting ahead in society, and you gotta be a sociopath and step on people's necks to get ahead and whatever. And like, no, you don't. Just have some basic conscience, have some common sense, you know? Yeah, morally bankrupt churches. You know, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I say no to the church because it's a bunch of ridiculousness. They're stealing the money. It's just, I don't want to, you know, run too off course with that. But yeah, the churches, it's a narcissist hive, unfortunately. It really is. You know, yeah, so it's not good stuff with the churches, unfortunately. I've had to deal with a lot of narcs there and a lot of BS there. And, you know, they're just not responsible. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. And they're not representing the name Jesus Christ properly, and they're definitely not representing God properly. And at the end of the day, it's the system of society that controls it. And the people who are in charge of the system of society could give a rat's ass about God or morality or Jesus Christ or anything good. They just use the church to keep us, sort of, like if you're at a church and you think for yourself and you have your own ideas, they don't like that. They don't like that at all. They want you to conform and be programmed. That is the impetus. That's the number one thing, bro, what's your birthday? I'm a numerologist. I'm going to decline that. I like some numerology stuff, but I do want to protect my privacy, just these scammers and schemers and whatever out there. So I'm not going to put my birthday out there. Your narcissistic mother told you morality is politics. Yeah. In order to be a narcissist, you have to have no morals or ethics. Your sense of morals and ethics has to be depleted. And then you're, okay, fair enough, my dude. Yeah, but yeah. Your sense of morality needs to be depleted and messed up, my aching lower brainstem. Yep. Yeah, Hiram, I know about the lower brainstem hurting. And I have autoimmune diseases because of my lower brainstem hurting. And I have asthma and stuff, and I meditate on it, and I'll loosen it up sometimes, and my stuff will feel a little bit better for a bit. And, when I kind of have more relaxation and stuff in life, my brainstem feels better. But when I'm around a bunch of drama, that crap tightens up. And when your brainstem tightens up, you start having random health issues. You do. It messes you up. So, yeah, I know that. LOL. Yeah. So I know about that. But yeah, and I'll touch on numerology a little bit. Numbers do represent things. So a number is not just an abstract concept, but it represents ideas. It represents archetypes and stuff like that. So you can figure out what the archetypes of that number map to, and then that number will actually kind of paint a picture of things. And I see numbers everywhere, on license plates and stuff like that, and it shows, God uses numbers to show me things. Like 111 is like your beginning, your start. It's about being tough and strong and overcoming things and stuff like that. 222 is about being more established. You have sort of self-esteem. You have your house, if you will. You're sort of on your second step. You're on the solid ground of 111, and now you can really build things. So there is some numerology out there. There definitely is some stuff, and it's helped me out. I just try to always rationale first. I try not to fall too into any kind of sauce. But there's symbology and all this type of stuff, and in everything, So, so there are certain signs and certain things we can pick up on, and I know I've been seeing 222 a lot everywhere. There's the van that parks outside my apartment every day, and it's got 222 in the phone number and stuff like that. It's math and physics. Yeah, it is math and physics. It is. Yeah, that's the thing, is numbers are math and physics. And to be more scientific about it, numbers, all those numbers we use in mathematics represent certain things. So physics will represent the movement of an object, and I'm not a mathematician. And you can map every object to an XYZ axis, and you can, have numerical data. And as someone who works on computers and stuff, the computers will take the numerical data of the ones and the zeros, and they will actually make it into something and turn it into something. So yeah, I remember I was doing community college, and I had this really weird math teacher, and we had these whiteboards all over whiteboards all over the room. He's running around the whiteboards, doing all this different stuff and going all crazy and stuff. And his thing, and he would yell, "The numbers mean something. It's not just a number. The number means something. It's about what the number represents. It's about what the number represents." Blah, 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 and he's yelling that, and I'm like, low-key, man, I'm like, yes, he would give a sermon on mathematics, and it was incredibly unique. And, numbers do represent things, we can map them to certain things like money or weight or height or whatever, but they represent things spiritually and archetypally as well, so, and I have been given some insights into sort of what certain numbers represent, and, things like that. Johnny, it's a blessing and a curse. Sorry. But yeah, there's it's to do with correct brain balance. That's the key. Overbalancing one hemisphere. Yeah, left right brain imbalance is very important. I agree with you there, Hiram. Yeah, that's something I learned about kind of in around last year is right and left brain imbalance, and I learned that I was more left brain imbalanced. And I mean, I'll talk on this, but like most of the time when I dream, it's in black and white. If I try to envision something in my mind, like it's hard to envision it. I have to like really strain myself, and a lot of times I will only envision things in black and white, and I'm like in this process to get my right brain open and get everything balanced out and stuff. So yeah, having the right left brain balance is very important, Hiram. Yeah, and the one thing I will kind of say, Hiram, though, is like, you know, you do definitely want to be on the side of God, on the side of goodness, of stuff like that. I mean, there is knowledge in the devil and in Freemasonry and Luciferianism and stuff like that. I'm just making a read here. I don't know what your story is exactly, but I'm just going to make a read there and just say definitely focus on God and goodness, because a lot of people are misusing that symbology. A lot of the elites and Freemasons and whatever, Illuminati, powerful people, you know, they're misusing a lot of that stuff. So yeah, but it was valuable knowledge. We need to have that knowledge. They have that knowledge, and because they have it and we don't have it, they use it against us, essentially. And you know, so learning about balancing brain hemispheres, learning a bit about maybe numerology and stuff like that, learning about actual symbology and what things symbolize and stuff like that, really learning about what I've heard called ancient psychology. You know, you could call it that. Yeah, but really learning about the deep archetypes of why we think certain ways and what certain things are about and what our mind really represents and what our heart really represents and, you know, what our mission really is kind of on this earth and how everything symbolizes something else and connects us to other things. And, you know, yeah, I'm a seeker of truth. Dang straight they don't. I'm a dang straight they don't. As a result, they look stupid. Sorry, I'm not following the chat here. Yeah, on top of my choices, I'm depressed. Yeah, I feel despised. Sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah, you know, I felt that way before too. Like the thing is, once you get on the chosen path and you start to find the truth and stuff, like people start hating you, man. Like people at work are jealous of me. People are hating me. Like I was in a parking garage, and I'm walking in this parking garage, and there's, you know, yeah, you can't know the truth without going into the dark. That's very true. That's very true. They won't do it. But yeah, I'm in this parking garage, and there's a giant cement wall behind me. And someone at random, some gang stalker, some weirdo, someone I've never met before, do not know, starts to accelerate their car directly at me and then slams on their brake and turns around and drives away. There was no parking spot there. There was no nothing there. There's no way that could have been a coincidence or anything. They like saw me, they saw the spiritual light on me, and like wanted to run me over with their car. Like it's stuff like that where it's just like once you have a light, it's like all these demons come out of the woodwork. And yeah, to talk about what Hiram is saying, you can't go into the dark. Yeah, like, and I had that experience where I did go into the dark, and I found a good teacher online and someone who was responsible in the way they taught things. I found a guy named Mark Passio on a website called whatonearthishappening.com, and he exposes all that stuff. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart. He exposes a lot of conspiracy theories and things like that. It's hard stuff that's tough to accept, and you know, it's stuff that you want to kind of take in slowly and stuff. But you know, to learn about what's really going on in the world, and just to learn about how we're all brainwashed, and it's yeah, you know, so to your point there, Hiram, yeah, that's, so yeah, I've learned a lot from that, and anyone who's trying to learn about how the dark side actually works and what Satan's plan actually is, I'd really recommend Mark Passio and What on Earth is Happening. But again, it's it's a lot of conspiracy theories. It's a lot of stuff people might not be ready for. It's a lot of deep stuff. It's you kind of need to hold on to your hat before you watch it. And I don't agree with everything he says necessarily, but I really think he's on the money like about 95% of the stuff he says. And he has good faith in the way he says things, and he's not like all over the place. He has a sound mind, so he's not just running all over the place being crazy. And he has good intentions too. So I'd recommend checking him out. But yeah, the narc stare, bro. Oh boy, do they stare! Oh my God. Hiram says, I've gone beyond Mark, not to blow a trumpet. That man is incredible. I've done all his podcasts. Oh dang, Hiram, you're hardcore, man. You've gone past Mark Passio. This man is Hiram. You're probably sitting on a lot of knowledge then, So you got to figure out how to teach it to people, in a way they will accept, because again, that's very hard. To sort of take someone out of the matrix and tell them what's really going on. But yeah, I definitely wish you luck there, Hiram. And what you're doing, you can do a lot of good with that knowledge that you have. But yeah, 10 years, dang, yeah. But yeah, back to the staring, man. Like, dude, like, I'll be eating lunch or something, and then people stare at me. And, like, people would literally, like, rubberneck and, like, do that. Like, break their freaking neck to look at me. Hiram says he's challenging Mark. Okay. All right. But yeah, back to the staring. The staring is crazy. They're literally rubbernecking. And it's one thing if there's a girl and she thinks I'm cute or whatever, or I'm wearing some crazy outfit and someone's like, I really love your hat, or, something like that is fine. But, like, literally they're just boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, whoa, oh my God, Yeah, on challenging Mark on his last phase of the T. I don't agree that wisdom is the completion of the T. I'm not. I don't know as much about Mark Passio. I've watched a couple of his talks, so I'm not like as deep into that. But I'll tell you, they don't deserve what I know. Okay. But yeah, back to the staring. It's just like, and I was sitting eating lunch with somebody, and she was like, "Oh my God, everybody is staring at us. Is staring at you. Like, everybody who walks by is staring at you. Everybody's head is turning. It's crazy. It's creepy and it's weird too. It's not like, it's kind of off-putting, but I'll walk up somewhere and walk in the room, boom, 3 people staring at me, just zip like that, that fast. That you can only be wise by teaching. I don't know. Look, like, yeah. But yeah, back to the staring. It's just like, bro, yeah, they'll be staring at you so weird and creepy and like, just, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, they're not checking. They're just like, yeah, they're just, the staring thing is so weird. And I think they don't have lives of their own. I'll be thinking about things. I'll be deep in thought. That's when people stare at me the most. Sorry, I'm hiccuping. But when I'm deep in thought and I'm walking, people will stare at me more than anything. And they'll stare at me for a long time, too. Like, I could count to 3 Mississippi of people staring at me. Like, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That's a long time to stare at somebody. That's a long, long, long time to stare at somebody. Yeah, if I'm by stairs, people be looking down the stairwell at me, like, yeah, no, it's craziness. It's craziness. It's wild and it's massively uncomfortable. Another thing they do is they try to wake you up as soon as, my grandpa would do that wake up thing. My grandpa, malignant narcissist, and it's time to wake up, everybody wake up right now, get up right now, we have to have breakfast, then it's like 2 hours later, we actually get up and do stuff and have breakfast and whatever, it's just ridiculousness with the stuff they do, just the control and like the need to get attention. And yeah, the narcs are, man, so freaking annoying. It says, let me kick back, peace to the deserving. But it's craziness with these freaking it's craziness with the narcs. It's so nuts. It's so beyond the pale. It's just, man, I hate it with the narcs. And but these people staring at me too. I don't know them, and like I'll tell you a weird story. So I was on a trail, like a walking trail, where I live, and some guy's on his bike behind me, and I see his bike light behind me. I think he's gonna whip past me. We're walking at night, there, and then 5-10 seconds go by. He's still there. I'm like, why does this guy pass me yet? And I look back, and he's still there. And it's like 30 seconds go by. I'm like, this guy's just like riding his bike behind me hella slow. He stared at me in the dark, yeah. And then I literally stop in the middle of the path. I stand still. He bikes by, and his head is like on like a swivel. And as he bikes by me, he's just like, I'm just like, what the hell is going on, What the hell is going on? Yeah, I've had to learn how to be invisible, and I will sometimes wear flashy outfits, but I'm introverted, I'm sneaky, I'm like a cat, so I can a lot of times go undetected, but sometimes not. And like, my God, like, they cannot hide their golem side. I love that. They are freaky. They are like Golem trying to get the ring. Golem. They are. They're weird. They are weird, They are creepy. They hate themselves deeply. Yeah, at the gym I had a guy stare at me at the gym, like judgmental stare at me, like he was like sizing me up, and I look back at him, and I had to like kind of look back at him a couple times to get him to stop staring, and it's just, bro, yeah, they are golems. They are desperate, weird people. They're addicted to the attention. They're addicted to the supply. They're addicted to being jealous and stupid and just, yeah, man, just it's stupidness with these narcs. It really is, they're wretched. They're bad people, They are like demons, I really think in order to be that weird, at some point, someone has to be like possessed by a demon or something, because carnal humanity cannot be that weird, Carnal humanity can't be that creepy and staring at people and stuff like that, jealous and whatever, yeah, but that whole like obsession, it's like Satan's looking at you and he's like, oh, you're gonna go to heaven, you gotta join me in hell, join me in damnation, fall into the pit of hell with me, don't leave me alone, it's like that, and I mean, to my point there, like people, like Satan is a loser, Satan is a coward, Satan is a failure, Satan is a sob story, Satan is the ultimate quote unquote tragedy, and not a tragedy you should cry at, a tragedy you should laugh at and say he deserves it, ha ha. You tried to screw everybody over, now you're going to hell, and that's what's ultimately going to happen to Satan, to Lucifer, to the devil. And these narcissists embody Satan, Lucifer, and the devil. And they go around acting like him, acting like just like their father, the devil. They do, Yep. It's like they don't know. I do see the evilness in their face. I saw a lady, and I was just super in the spirit. I'd been fasting and praying a lot or something. I don't know what I was doing, but I saw her, and she looked like a snake. I literally, for a second, she had like a snake head. Like in my spirit, in my spiritual eye, where I will sometimes see stuff. I literally saw a snake head over her head. And I'm like, just go slither somewhere else, Oh my God, Narcs are ruled by the devil, 100% Outer Space Tarot. They are Satan's little mini-me's. They embody Lucifer. They embody evil. They do, yeah. Yeah, the snakehead thing. Yeah, I literally saw that, and I was like, oh my God, this woman looks like a snake. And I've seen some people where it looks like there's flies all over their face, and I'm like, whoa, what is going on here, So I've literally have like kind of seen stuff like that, and I've had dreams about people and stuff like that kind of screwing me over and things, and yeah, there is something very bad going. Yeah, I've seen the demon shapeshift on many of them. Yeah, these demons are definitely in them, and these demons, help to, show them how to deceive and manipulate, and these demons also marionette control them. The thing is, it's like the Holy Spirit of God is like, God holds us in our hand, He cares for us, he loves us, and he just kind of guides us along. Whereas Satan, the devil, like he tries to like control people like a marionette. Like he's pulling the strings and he's programming them exactly, and they're doing whatever he says. That's how Satan tries to control people. So, you know, that's what these demons are doing. These demons own them. You know, they're the property of Satan because they've chosen to do so much immorality and evil. You know, Outer Space Tarot says, my hair was falling out and I gained so much weight when my ex was around. They will ruin your health. Yes, I've experienced that. When I came down with something called Raynaud's disease when I was dealing with a very bad narc. And if I try to, you know, when I go in the shower, my fingers are wrinkled up like I've been in the bathtub for an hour, you know? Sometimes on a really cold day, my skin will like hurt and stuff, and my hands will hurt, and, you know, yeah, just from dealing with this freaking narcissist, you know? Yeah, and it's just, yeah, they will wreck your physical health. They legit will, you know, just from all the drama and the trauma and the BS, you know, they will wreck your physical health. They envy our spiritual gifts, 100%, you know, they really do. Yeah. But yeah, like being in relationships, like these relationships will literally kill you, you know, just, yeah, cold-blooded reptiles, you know, and like all the arguments and the drama and being accused of things and just dealing with the nonstop bullshit, you know. It will wear you out, it will exhaust you, and it will cause disorder and illness in your body, and, you know, you'll get sick, you know. Yeah, it'll really mess with you. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the homie over there with the bad smell. It sounds like he really had a bad case. These people are bad. You really had some foul demons you were around. And I'm sorry that happened to you, you know. And I just want to say, like, you know, God be with you all, light and love, you know, Christ the Redeemer be with all of us, God our Father in heaven be with us all, you know, and yeah, you know, goodness and blessings all around, you know. The bad smell leaks out of their skin, dang. Yeah, I haven't experienced the bad smell necessarily, but I think if they're demonic and nasty enough, you know, maybe their flesh rots or something. I think also just being narcissistic is just really bad for their mental health, and they stop showering. And I mean, the narcissists are like in a constant state of misery, you know. They really are, you know. They are not doing well. They are not doing well at all, you know. They are completely messed up, you know. Yeah, so. Yeah, these narcs are in a bad state. Yep, can you imagine such a low consciousness? Pity them and laugh, try not to get angry. Yeah, I've done that. I've actually have laughed at them before. I had a narcissist coworker who would just yell and freak out over everything. And you know, I did laugh. I mean, I tried not to, but it was just funny just seeing this guy just freaking rage, you know, and that made him more mad, you know, and I'm just like, oh, and I'm kind of nervously laughing just because I'm like, oh, wow, this guy's freaking, you know, coming off a lot of narc women's hair, yeah. Yeah, maybe they do have a bad smell. Yeah, one thing also is, like, when I become more spiritually in tune, like, my sense of smell gets better, and this might sound weird, but I used to work with autistic kids, and they had insane sense of smell. They had like a nose like a bloodhound. And I remember I had these blueberry candies, and I'd give the kids these blueberry candies. We had this big thing about it. So I said, anybody want a blueberry candy? And I'd freaking throw them a candy, you know? And I remember I had one, and this kid is standing about 6 feet away from me. And they're like, man, man, it smells of blueberries. I can smell blueberries everywhere. And I'm like, you can smell this blueberry candy I have in my hand? Like, what? Huh? And I've had moments where I've really been meditating and really been spiritual, and like, I will have ridiculous sense of smell. All of a sudden, I can smell my trash from a room away, and I've got to take it out. Or all of a sudden, I'll drink some coffee, and I'll go, oh, and I'll just like, or, you know, I smoke cigarettes sometimes. Guys, don't smoke. It's not healthy. Don't do what the tiger does on this. But I'll take a hit of a cigarette, and I'll go, oh, you know, all of a sudden, like, you know, where I was eating fish the other day, and the flavor of the fish was so strong, it started shaking, you know? So I'll have these weird things where all of a sudden my senses will become, like, super powerful, you know? I had one where I was jogging and I was wearing a tracksuit, and all of a sudden I could hear this metal clink, 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 and I'm like, what's that clinking noise? Is someone behind me? Who keeps clinking? What's going on? I looked and it was my zipper. Just the zipper was just like clinking against itself. So yeah, if you're spiritual, like your senses can sometimes become hella powerful randomly, you know, and I've had that when I'm meditating and stuff, and all of a sudden my senses are just like so powerful. You know, I can smell things, hear things, just like that don't make any sense for me to be able to hear and smell it or see it or anything like that. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Yeah, looking through the chat here. Yeah, I would say, and like having good spiritual practices will increase discernment, and well, you know, you'll start to do better. Just praying and fasting and stuff like that will help out, and doing other stuff, you know, as well. You know, being abstinent, or you know, making sure you're good on your sexual purity and whatnot is important. I'm not perfect on anything, bro. I hit a vape pen. I smoke cigarettes sometimes. The Truth Tiger is not a picture of purity, but it's important, and it will really help you out on your spiritual path. So it's definitely a good idea to try to stay as pure with things as you can. It's very, very important. But having love in your heart, truth in your mind is the most important thing. So you got to start there. But yeah, it's important just to live right, you know. You know, my ears ring sometimes. Josh, my ears ring all the time, brother, like crazy. It's not as bad as it used to be, but when I was going through my awakening, days, like it would, every day, my ears would be ringing, you know, and I think it's some demons moving in and out, but like, especially when I'm going through some spiritual breakthrough, or I'm really confronting something in my mind, bro, my freaking ears will just ring, brother, like crazy, you know. I'll have a lot of stuff like that. Like, I'll be, you know, meditating or praying or something. All of a sudden, my fridge makes a noise. My house is settling. My computer's turning on and off. My phone's all of a sudden the screen's turning on. You know, I've had people at work being like, "Hey, the computers are acting so weird around you," you know, and I'm like, I guess so, you know. I guess so, you know. Oh my stars, my ears ring too. Yeah, Joanne, you know, there's some spiritual movement going on when your ears are ringing. Some spirits are moving. I think demons are exiting the body when your ears start to ring. That's my theory on that. Or some part of your brain that hasn't been used ever that relates to spiritual things is waking up or something. But something spiritual and powerful is happening when your ears are ringing. Because I've had them ring, and then they like ring louder and louder, and I'm like, man, how loud are my ears gonna ring? You know, and it's just like crazy stuff, you know. And yeah, you know, like I'll feel pressure come off my forehead. I'll feel pressure come off my brainstem. I'll feel pressure come off my chest. I will feel stuff come off me, and I'll sometimes feel heavy things come off me, you know, like it's crazy. And it kind of like, you know, sometimes it'll kind of like tinnitus is what they call it. But yeah, it's not like tinnitus. It comes about at certain areas. Like, it's not the thing about tinnitus. If there's some construction noises going on, or someone's firing a gun off and your ears are ringing like crazy, I'd say that's more tinnitus. You know, this is like comes about at certain specific times. And because I'm talking about it, I have an ever so slight ringing in my ear, like a mental static sound. Like, it almost sounds more like static on a TV than, you know, ears ringing, but it kind of is ears ringing. It's like that mental static is coming out of your mind. Downloads from the universe. Yeah, you know, something's like, you know, mentally coming out of your mind and stuff. And yeah, it's crazy stuff, you know, it really is, because, you know, it also means angels are surrounding you. Yeah, you know, and yeah, angels are around us, you know. And, you know, God does have angels around us, protecting us and looking out for us and making sure we're safe and we're doing well. Yeah, I've had ear issues, but it happened after this whole learning about the narcissism mess. Yes. So, yeah, it's a part of spiritually elevating, and it's a part of, you know, it's the scales are coming off your eyes, if you will, or, you know, you're opening up your mind, because like our mind is held prison by the universe, and then not by the universe. Our mind is being held prison by Satan in the Matrix. And once you get in touch with God and you get in touch with the actual master of the universe, it's like all this stuff is coming out of your mind. It's almost like it's like physically in there, but it's not. I don't know exactly how all this works, but Jesus talks about having a log on your eye. It's like you got some big heavy stuff on your mind. You got to like take it off. And got this heavy stuff in my heart. It's like I'll feel it, like my heart is tight and it will like loosen up, and it's definitely connected. 100% it is. And we start to be higher in the consciousness of our mind. We start to have more love in our heart, and things start to it's like we are elevating. We're moving up. We're doing. We're seeing what's really going on. We're seeing what's going on outside the carnal world, because the thing is, it's like what we're taught is all there is the carnal world. All there is this three-dimensional realm. All there is this six-directional realm we live in. You can go up and down. You can go forward and back. You can go left and right. It's a six-directional realm. It's a three-dimensional realm. That's it. You have your physicality, whatever, and there's nothing else going on. You die and whatever. And then when you really open up here, it's like that there's more than that. God is real. Like no, that there is a spiritual world. No, that there is a bigger path. There's bigger things. There is heaven. It's like that God is real. It's like that there's a heaven and a hell. That there is good and bad. It's like that there is God and Satan. It's just like you just like spiritually know. And that in this realm, we're supposed to interface with heaven. We're supposed to interface with God. And if we fail to do that, we're going to interface with hell and with Satan. And we're going to fall down, or we can elevate and rise up. And if people stay in a state of unawareness, so many pass away due to lack of knowledge, we have eyes to see and ears to hear. Exactly, So being aware of these bigger spiritual things, being aware of God, being aware of what's of what's bigger, that's just like starts to happen when you deal with these narcissists. Because I believe when you confront narcissists, you're confronting Satan, you're confronting demons, and you're confronting the devil, because again, it's not basic carnal evil. The way they manipulate and pretend to be your friend, and the way they're just like so all over the place, it's like this has to be some kind of demon or devil. This has to have some sort of higher consciousness, but an evil higher consciousness that they're connected to, And then we say, all right, we're going to get connected to the good higher consciousness so we can defeat these fools. And we're not, because we don't want to go where they go. We don't want to be abused by them. We don't want to end up becoming like them. Yeah, good to hear, John. You feel high. That's what we want to do. We want to feel high. We want to feel lifted. We want to feel elevated, 100%. Yeah, I know, spiritually high, Yeah, and I feel that way too. And like, when I feel spiritually high, like people are all of a sudden looking at me, wanting to be around me. It's like you have this glow, We get past the meat suit, Fear is an illusion, love is the truth. Very true, Yeah, if you're being caught up in fear, it's like they say in Star Wars, what Yoda says, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hatred. It's true, And if people are in a state of fear and anxiety, that's like a state an insect lives in, where they're like, I gotta eat, and I gotta not get eaten, and And once you get out of that, and you're like, all right, I'm not gonna be some weird, scared insect jumping around all the time. I'm gonna actually be a person, and grow and evolve. And, getting out of the baseline state of fear is very important for, your path to begin, You're not gonna begin in life if you can't get past fear. That's the bottom line. That's where, the beginning of spirituality is there's a lot of different beginnings, but one of the biggest beginnings is getting past fear, overcoming, winning, defeating, yeah. So yeah, you got to win. Yep, fear and anger manifest into depression. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You become sad, you really do. Yeah, thanks, Hiram. My narc was excessively stalks me. But yeah, you start to elevate. Then once you can get past fear, you can develop things like self-esteem. You can develop your passion, your decision-making ability, You can start to have more love in your heart. You can get your mind better. You can get your throat better. That's a big one for me. You know, I struggle to express myself sometimes and stumble over my words. And I got all these amazing ideas happening here, but to put it in here and speak it out is hard. So, you know, I start to overcome these kinds of things. Yeah, my narc girlfriend would go absolutely batshit nuts, and I'm sorry, yeah, bro, I'm really sorry you went through that. You know, it sounds like this brother, was really some kind of witch's coven, and things do get violent. You know, it can go to violence, it can go to domestic violence, and I would say at that point, if they're hitting you, try to get their ass arrested, try to get their ass in jail, and then leave them if you can. I know a lot of times you're still in love with them, or you're still don't really know what's going on, or you're confused, or you've had a crappy childhood yourself and you think it's okay and stuff. And, but yeah, things can get really, really bad with the narcs. Like, things can get very, very abusive. I found your channel thanks to John Clemens. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I've been on, John, did some lives with him and stuff. Yeah, so... I hope John's doing well and stuff, and yeah, but yeah, there's more to it than just this earthly realm. And if you only live for this earthly realm, it's a very sad life. It's just like, I'm gonna go to the buffet and eat as much as possible. Like, is that really gonna be fun to just do that every day? And that's all it is. Whether I'm gonna take as many vacations as I can, I'm gonna have as much money as I can, I'm gonna have as much experiences as I can, I'm gonna have as much of this and that and whatever. And like, we live here and stuff like that. But yeah, let me some women really struggle with the cycle we have. Let's see. I have so many issues articulating my speech because of being quieted so much when I was a kid. I hate it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and yeah, it's like you do see people, and it's like we do kind of get silenced and shushed down and act like our voice doesn't matter, and have people not listen to us and stuff. And it made me very self-conscious. And yeah, our voice just is like, the part of doing these videos for me is part of my journey, getting my voice back and putting it out there. Yeah, so yeah, our voice does get messed up. Our voice gets messed up. Our heart gets messed up. We get messed up, yeah, that's one thing. You just want to stay quiet and survive. You walk around on eggshells. You don't want to make anybody mad. And, yeah, so, yeah, these situations with narcissists can be bad. These people really are devils and demons, They're Satan's little helpers, They're Satan's little minions, they are. And they have an evil impetus. And if they were able to live for some greater good, or see some greater good, or have a true good connection with God, or have just any kind of love in their heart, any kind of love for their fellow, any kind of anything, but there's nothing good and positive going on with them whatsoever. Yeah, I had to build myself up and replace everything. Same here. Like, I'm having to reinvent my whole life. I'm 30, almost 31, I'm having to reinvent my whole life, and it's hard, and there's people that are 40 and 50 and 60 and 70, and it's tough, It's tough as you get older, too, to reinvent your life, and it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of soul searching. And there were days I didn't want to get up. There were days I didn't want to go to work. There were days I didn't want to talk to anybody. There were days that I didn't want to do anything. There are days I just felt like crap. I want to stay inside the house, lock the doors, and not see anybody, not be around anybody. Just sit there by myself and freaking eat chicken nuggets on the couch in my underwear, and just go out, have a cigarette on the porch, whatever. Like, yeah, let's see, ultra testosterone. What's up, bro? Yeah, but there was days where, like, man, I just didn't want to even do anything, I really didn't, because I was just from dealing with the narc abuse. It's just like, I had an anvil dropped on my head, and I got hit by a train. And the thing is, like, people have been through worse stuff than I have. Like, people in this chat have been through worse stuff than I have. So it's like, if what I went through was bad, and I got ran over by a train my whole freaking life, like, it's like there's other folks out there that, they got ran over by a freight train. You know, I got ran over by a freaking Amtrak train, and they got ran over by a freight train. And it's like some people got hit by an atomic bomb, and like, there's, you know, people are just, there's so much evil in the world going on, you know. Truth Tiger, are you very religious, bro? I know you don't like churches since uh, they are bad now. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. People at the church narc me out, so I don't get too involved in all that. And I see a lot of fake stuff in the church with prosperity gospel. I see a lot of weird stuff in the church with deliverance ministry where it's like a cult or something. And I just don't see a lot of good stuff happening in the church. If you happen to have a good church you go to, look, stay in that church. But 99% of these churches, bro, are just not good. You got a lot of Jezebels in there that are guilt tripping you and being weird. And like, it's a bad vibe, you know. And you got some weird pastor and the pastor doesn't care and stuff. Like, bro, I'll tell a story like about that. And here's the thing, like I had a friend in church and he was going through a divorce and he was busted up about this divorce and this divorce was hurting him. And he told me about it and he said, look, just keep this a secret. I don't want the whole community knowing about my divorce I'm going through. And then he does a counseling session with the pastor, pays the pastor like $50 or something for this counseling session. And the pastor comes up to me afterwards and goes, oh, dude, did you hear? So-and-so got divorced, you know? And it's like, you know, like Josh says, relationship, not religion. Relationship with God, not religion. And it's like, yo, you're a pastor. You should be responsible, you know? But again, it's a bunch of irresponsible people, drama people. I had some lady yelling at me about the money and yelling at me about not donating and all this crazy stuff. And again, I had some guy come in my life who I thought was this nice guy, thought they were going to help me. Turned out to be a covert narcissist, insane, weirdo, creepy freaking person who caused a lot of trouble in my life. And you know, I thought they were going to help me out because they're from the church and all this stuff. And nah, it's a bunch of narcs. Yeah. You know, yeah, sorry, I'm just looking through. I've never felt right in a church. Must be a chosen thing. Yeah, I also never felt right either. I was just believing the Matrix and thought it was what I was supposed to do. Ultra, what do you say, brother? You got all caps on your message here. Do you think these churches have good women to find that are younger and blah, blah, blah? Okay, family seems like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to dig too much into that ultra testosterone, but you are correct on that. That's kind of what I saw. You know, yeah, not a lot of young women and yeah, you know. So yeah, I didn't see much good prospects there. And seems like a lot of people there were struggling in their relationships. And if you're young, there's nobody there. And yeah, no, you're not gonna. It's gonna be tough to meet a good person, and a lot of people have bad relationships from the church. You know, like I've known a lot of people. Oh, I met my wife at the church, and she's a narc, and she's abusive. Or some woman, I met my husband at the church, and he's a narc, and he's abusive, and just yeah, you know. So I kind of realized, and a lot of people in the church, they pretend to be happy, and they're people pleasers, and the whole thing is weird. So I'd be careful trying to meet somebody. Yeah, at the church. It's too much narcissism. Let's see. Yeah, so it's tough stuff in the church. Yeah, but yeah. I want to maybe go back to my point about the cold world. You know, the church and the cold world. That's a good segue because, you know, you do kind of seek these traditional community pillar kind of things, which is going to be the church. Adam says you aren't going to meet a woman at a church if you have a past that you would not want to talk about at church. These church women are pious. Yeah, I agree with you, Adam. And a lot of it is judgmental stuff, you know. And I felt very judged in the church, like very judged, you know. And they were really trying to dig into my life and trying to you know, say this type of stuff. Yeah, you know, so yeah, the church is very judgmental. And again, if you feel like you can't be yourself there, not good. I'm going to go back here, see what this guy was saying. It's unemployment tough right now. Work with, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to keep moving about the church. Let's see. Yeah, I am single. I'm 30. Employment is all right. And I would say, look, if you're a single guy with no kids, like, you got to think for yourself and figure out what you want. What are your goals? Do you want to have money and all that stuff, or do you want to go off the grid and be by yourself? So you just got to figure that out, figure out what you want to do. But yeah, the going back to the church in the cold world, like, we rely on stuff like a church for community, for get-togethers, for dating, for making new friends, for all this stuff. And when you go there and people are unfriendly, won't talk to you, these people are not, if you're not a conformist, they don't get you. If you're saying, I believe in God and I know who God is, they're going to be like, no, we don't know who God is. The church tells us who God is. And if you have that kind of relationship with God, they're kind of weird about it, so, and again, the church is not really doing what it can to provide community and to get people together and to help people make friends. So many people there are very fake, and, nobody wants to be social. Nobody wants to open up. Everybody's so closed off and protected and guided and, guarded and, everyone's so like that, and yeah, everybody is just like that, like crazy. And, you're not going to find friends being around that kind of vibe. And, I think the way our culture is going, it's like, back in the day, you used to be able to get community at a place like a church, at least, I mean, they've always kind of been corrupt with the doctrine and stuff, and have always been kind of off the mark when it comes to who Jesus really is and things like that. But, at least you could find some community and some friends and things like that. But, nowadays it's tough. And I've made some friends at the church and stuff, but it's a mixed bag, and it's a lot of drama going on that you don't know about, and it's a lot of stuff, it is. And yeah, a lot of the people there, are not just not the highest quality of individuals, people are obsessed with money. Yeah, the church is very into money. Church people act like I'm not saved when I've probably repented and prayed. Then all of them, yes, they do. The church people do not self-reflect. Thank you for saying that. They do not self-reflect. They do not repent. And I've had conversations with them about this stuff where I'm like, hey guys, let's get real about stuff. And I don't have that problem. I don't do that. Our marriage is perfect. I never, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you liar, you liar, so they don't self-reflect. And rather they use the church as a way of false morality so they can come in and, I go to the church. And they're also weird cowards too. Like, I'll tell someone at work I believe in Jesus Christ. I'll tell someone at work I believe in God. I'm not going to run around and harass people like that. But if we talk and we're talking for a little while and you're getting to know me better and you're asking me about that, or we're going to that direction of the conversation at all, I'll tell you about it. No problem. Most of these people won't even tell people about it. They're just so fake and weird and judgmental, and they're always trying to re-save you. If you go to a new church, they're going, oh, you need to be saved again. You need to be baptized again by our church because you were at that other one and you were giving them money, and now you got to be saved by our new church. And it's just, it's a freaking scam, They don't control Jesus. They don't control God. God's there for everybody. You don't need to go into one of those churches to have to find him, You really, really don't. Yeah, narcs are always plotting. Narcs are plotting, gossiping, and, tying this into church, this group of ladies would get together, this little Jezebel clique, and they're all gossiping, and the pastor wants to appease them and stuff, and, so it's craziness with that. Freemason pastors discuss. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of pastors are actually Freemasons too. I thank Mark for the word dross, isn't it great? Saving Soul says he got sleep paralysis for the second time after going to a church. Yeah. A lot of these churches, what's actually happening is satanic worship and witchcraft. People don't know it, but because people are coming in there egotistical, and they're praying to God in an egotistical way, and they're going to the music, and they're trying to put on a big show, and it's all fake, and isn't really love in their heart, and someone's sitting next to them, they don't want to talk to that person, and they hate their fellow, they are actually doing satanic worship because they are looking down on people. And then they're believing in this false doctrine where it's like you don't have to do anything. I don't know what they call it exactly, like faith over works or something like that. But they have this idea that because Jesus died for our sins, now it's just like we don't have, well, we said Jesus, so just go be a scumbag. You don't have to do anything good anymore. Because you don't have to help anybody. And then like things like, I don't know, smoking cigarettes or whatever. Someone smokes cigarettes, they'll make a big deal about it. But if someone yells at their husband or their wife or their family or someone is just like abusive and stuff, that's fine. That's normal. But if someone always smokes cigarettes, oh, that's horrible, And our church worked with a lot of former addicts and people who were on the street and stuff like that. And that was one good thing they actually did, was do that. But we had one guy, really good guy, but he used to be on drugs and stuff. So he smoked a lot of cigarettes, and that's what he did to kind of keep himself normal. And he was a good dude. And they'd be all judgmental and make him feel weird about it. And they just want to judge people and look down their noses at people. And they're just spoiled little brats. They've told this to me themselves, We're spoiled brats. They are. I'm going to read some comments here. Old for Testosterone says, how come you never tried Reform Judaism since you came from an Orthodox Jewish background? Jesus, did you just figure out Jesus was your man? Yep, I just figured out Jesus was my guy from reading the New Testament. Just figured that out on myself. Figured that out with God. With Judaism, like, I have a complicated relationship with that. Like, I kind of don't want to be a part of it, but it is still a part of my background. I do believe that I might be a descendant of actual Judah himself, the fourth born son of Jacob. So I do think that's true, and that's cool, and I'm going to claim that and use that. And if I have that, I do believe I have that, good bloodline, holy blood in me, whatever, I'll use that. But in terms of what they're doing, like, it needs to be Jesus, and I can't go along with any other religion and stuff like that. And then, a lot of people have problems with the cultures they came from, and I do have some problems with the culture I came from, and there were some things there with a lot of narcissism and stuff like that that I don't like. So I have a complicated relationship with that, and I'm trying to kind of figure out how I carry my identity with that and stuff like that. But for now, I'm kind of saying I'm not doing that, but I kind of do want to find a way to maybe incorporate it in. But unfortunately, they're not on the mark. And I don't want to go off topic or into a bad place with that, but in terms of, being righteous and doing the things they're supposed to do, they are unfortunately missing the mark. But, I read the Old Testament, Abraham and Moses and Elijah and King David, and I love all those guys, and I know they're the prophets and all that. So I like that side to it, but just what's happening in the modern world is... unfortunately, it's not the right stuff. And look, a lot of people are off course. Very few people are really on track. So I don't want to blame that specifically. But at the same time, I just don't want a bunch of guys to come up to me and be, hey, what's going on? I remember we grew up with you. Come to synagogue with us. Come here with us. Come over to our house. Come this and that. And before you know it, it's like that dog collar is back on me, and I'm back under the control of that system. So I'm trying to... avoid that. I'm trying to really avoid that that religious and cultural trap that I came from, unfortunately. So, that just kind of is what it is. And again, I don't want to go in a wrong direction with that or have anybody get the wrong idea about that kind of stuff. They use God's grace as an excuse to be workers of inequity. Well, what they really use, and this is not just them, but this is a lot of other groups, is a victim mentality. And what I remember, and this is going to sound bad, but, I have a complicated relationship with Judaism. It seems like narcissism is prevalent in the church. Here's the thing. They use a victim mentality, and this is going to sound really bad, but, they kind of think, the Jews, the people I came from, they kind of think they are the biggest victim of all the different groups of people. So they would say, Like, my mom would literally say this, like, black people had slavery. We had the Holocaust. It was worse. We should get the special treatment. We should get this. We should get that, you know? So there is a mentality of entitlement and a mentality of, like, we're the bigger victim or we know better. Or one thing I also heard a lot is, like, our IQs are just higher. We have a higher IQ. We're just smarter. I've heard that a lot. And, again, I don't want to fall off track with that, but... You know, I heard a lot of that stuff and I didn't like it. And again, I don't want to get too off track with that topic, but I kind of needed to distance myself from that kind of energy because I'm not trying to be around all that. But there's a lot of people that are good people that I've met that come from Jewish backgrounds, and we connect pretty easily because we know the same stuff. But they're kind of like, they don't want to talk about it. They're confused about it. They can't make sense of it. They're trying to, like, they can kind of see they're kind of screwed up by it too. I used to work with a guy like that. Great guy, you know, interesting guy, smart guy, awesome guy. But, you know, I could tell that he came from a Jewish family like me, and they got his head all screwed up, you know, and he kind of is like, can't really make sense of it, you know. So that's all, you know. And coming from a religious background like that, it'll do that, you know. It'll kind of it'll get your head screwed up. Yeah, so I had to deal with that, unfortunately. Yeah, so, yeah, we were going pretty long here. We've already been here for, holy gosh, well over an hour. We're like an hour and 40 minutes here. We are rolling. We still got people here, so might keep this going a little bit longer. But yeah, it's a lot of traps in the world. And, you know, this culture trap thing is a real thing because I've talked to so many people that have told me about, like, who feel trapped by their culture. Like, I grew up as a Jew. I felt trapped by that culture. I knew a black guy. He felt very trapped by that culture. I talked to a Mexican guy I used to work with. He felt trapped by that culture. You know, a lot of people feel trapped by their cultures. And I've been around a lot of Asian folks, and they won't say it directly to me, but I could see by their demeanor and by what's going on, they feel trapped by their culture too, you know? So, you know, culture can be good, but you don't want to let it trap you or own you, you know? People can really get trapped by their culture and religion and stuff like that, and they can start to lose their individuality and things like that. Patrick Eat says, I personally died and nearly went to heaven and either met the Most High God or Jesus or my guardian angel. It was an awesome experience. Plus, God or Jesus saved me in real life. And good evening to Josh. Yeah, awesome experience, Patrick. Yeah, you know, God is real. And a lot of people do have experiences of these, you know, kind of being taken up to heaven or a near-death experience or something. And, you know, there is something up there. And we have a creator who loves us. We have a good, loving God who's there for us. He does ask that we, you know, do the right thing and that we acknowledge him and treat other people right and stuff like that. But, yeah, you know, but yeah, there is a real God. There really is. Truth Tiger, do you ever want to get married and have kids? Yeah, I do. I definitely do. If I can do that and meet the right woman, 100%, I'd love to get married and have kids. I'm not going to force that or like have that as some checklist on my box of things that I have to do, but you know, I will definitely work toward that, and I try to, you know, talk to girls here and there who seem nice and, you know, try to make that happen as best I can. But I would say just don't force that, you know. Don't put that on as some checklist on some box that you have to do, you know. But if it's there for you, definitely do it, and just don't force it with the wrong person, though. Don't do that. Don't force a relationship with the wrong person. If it's true love, if they're really for you, you'll know, you know. You will 100% know, and yeah. So don't force a relationship with the wrong person. You know. Yeah, let's see. Josh says, you grew up Roman Catholic and don't practice Catholicism anymore. But I do like some Catholics things. I like exorcisms. Yeah, I got this freaking big iron cross. And, you know, I do like the idea of kicking out demons. It is in the Bible, you know. I've had some success with that a little bit here and there, just rebuking certain spirits and getting them out of the house and stuff. And I'll need to level up more before I could really do big-time exorcisms and stuff, but you can call demons out. You know, if you're really standing on goodness and know who Jesus Christ is, you can cast out demons. Yeah, so All right, hey, I'm from England. Also, yeah, on the Roman Catholic thing, my dad is not Jewish and is actually from a Catholic background. He's like an atheist and stuff, but I do know about the Catholicism and stuff like that, and there's some strangeness definitely there, especially with the priests and the nuns and stuff like that. And when you look at the Vatican and the Holy See and the Club of Rome, and it gets a little bit weird with the Vatican, you know. That one can get pretty strange, but yeah, like, you know, it's trying to think of where to go here, but I think we'll probably talk about the cold world a little bit. All this stuff is contributing to the cold world, and all this stuff is contributing to people being unfriendly and stuff like that. Yeah, so what some guys are talking about being in England or something like that. But yeah, I think we can make the world warmer. I think we can make the world a better place. It's just going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take God above us. And, us as individuals are going to have to sort of like, we have our own zone of goodness and our own zone of righteousness, and it kind of grows. And then eventually we'll be able to get some people in there too. And once we get together, like, it'll be moths to a flame. A lot of people will want to join us. A lot of people will want to be a part of this. And I think like the world is becoming evil and human consciousness is becoming so low and whatever you want to call it, that it's going to kind of hit the bedrock and go boom. And then before you know it, there's going to be degeneracy in public and really evil, crazy stuff. And I think people are going to see that and they're going to go, oh my God, we have to find righteousness. We have to treat other people better. We have to find God, whatever. People are going to hit that bedrock and start to have to do better. And I think that will help us out a lot. And the thing is, it's like God gives us all a secret place. And we have that secret place where we can hide from the world and hide from the matrix, and hide from the evil of society and stuff like that. So, we're just going to build our secret little kingdoms, and our little land out in the wilderness, whether that's metaphorically land in the wilderness or if that's actually land in the wilderness, which a lot of people will move out to the wilderness and go off the grid and stuff like that. That's going to happen. But yeah, we'll be able to find our own little area, our own little community, and we'll be able to, get people connected, make the world better, and we will be able to do this. It will just take a lot of work. It'll take a lot of focus. We need more people making videos and stuff like that too. Like, like we don't have enough people out there making videos and spreading the word and stuff like that. So we definitely need more videos being made. We need more community communication. We need to build the community more. Get in touch with each other more. I've thought about making a website and stuff. Probably that would be take a lot of work, so that would be more in the future. But there's things we can do to get connected. There's things we can do to grow as a community, and even just watching lives like this and doing stuff like this will help get us connected. Because if you go out to the bar or something, like maybe you'll meet somebody, but for the most part, it's fake people. And it's like you got to comb through like 10 or 15 fake people before you meet that one real person. And like it's not going through all the fake people. It's not a fun process. It wastes your time. It wastes your life. You could get deceived. It's just dangerous, man. So like going through the world like that, you really got to have thick skin and you got to be prepared for the bullshit and the BS. And when you're chosen, the fake people expose themselves very fast, the fake people really do. Like, I've had that where they'll show me right away that they're fake. So I'm like, all right, I don't need to waste my time on you. But that rejection is painful, though. Like, them slamming the door in your face or them just being fake with you like that, like, it's painful to deal with. And you don't want to have to deal with that if you don't need to, You really don't. So just going out there in the world is tough, but focusing on your own grind, your own self, what you're doing artistically, spiritually, career-wise, what you're building, growing, whatever you're doing, focusing on that's going to find other people who are building and growing things, and you're going to find people who follow what you build and grow, and everyone's just going to come together. When you focus on your own goals and the things you should be doing, like, everybody comes together. That's what happens. But when people are just like trying to please other people and focusing on the matrix and focusing on all the BS and stuff, you know, like that's not what happens, you know. Growth doesn't happen. People are just all selfish and they're all around each other, but they're not really like friends, and they're all just kind of in prison together. And it just becomes a big emotional prison. And if things become abusive, it can become a very legit prison. Take a peek at the chat here. I missed some messages. Yeah, we don't have any friends. I don't have friends either. I know what that is. Josh says it is a massive shift in others waking up. Most, definitely. Jesse says, I want to make videos on my channel. I just need to get in the right headspace and figure out content. 100%. Like, I tried making videos about a year ago, and I was too messed up, too sick, too fucked up, you know, and I couldn't make good videos. But I waited a little bit, healed, got myself in the right headspace, and I've been able to make some good videos. And yeah, you know, so there's definitely, it's definitely doable. You know, you just got to kind of like work yourself up to it, you know, just grind slowly but surely. You know, you just keep pushing, you'll figure it out. You can do it. Sorry, just looking at more chats here. Let's see, small village. So you can do that. And let's see here. I think I could go for a little bit longer, but man, we are almost at 2 hours. We are really going on a long time, but we still got people here, so I feel like people still need a word, you know. And I feel like there is still maybe a little bit of a word in me, so I'll keep it going for a little bit. Once you find that home within yourself, once you feel like you can be outside and just walk around and not be tripping about people around you, even if they are staring and judging, once you're just like, whatever, I don't care, you know. Once you're able to get there, and it's really something, it's in the loins, it's in the, not to be too, it's in your balls, you know, or in your ovaries, I guess. Sorry, ladies, but, once you kind of have that in you, you know, you kind of just say, all right, you know, I'm going to push forward, and, I'm not going to be tripped out about all these people. And for me, it's like, I used to be like, if someone would walk by me, my gaze would automatically follow that person. And now someone can walk by me, and I can be looking at a leaf on a tree, and I'll keep looking at that tree, and they'll walk right past me, and I'll look at them like they ain't even there. And it's a power you got to develop. Sorry. Hiccups, guys, hiccups. But it's a power you got to develop, and I got to sneeze, I'm fighting. Sorry, guys, I'm just getting choked up here with my body, but, it's a power you got to develop where you're not, like, focused on what everybody's doing. You're just focused on what you're doing, and it's not easy. You know, it's tough. It's tough to just be focused on yourself like that, and not tripping about other people and what they think and whatever. It's different. It's awesome when you no longer care. Yeah, it really is. When you just, everybody's judgments, what everybody thinks about you, I don't care. You know, whatever. Just gonna push forward. No problem. So being able to develop that and build that muscle and get yourself to where, like, deleted all social media. Yep, same here, brother. A couple years back. I'll make a separate video about that coming up soon. But yeah, no more social media and stuff because I don't need it. Whatever, a bunch of drama on there, a bunch of stuff I just didn't need, and just as addictive. It wasn't good for me, just getting into all these political arguments and dumb stuff, and just wasn't productive for me. It wasn't good for my mental health, and I was better off without it. But you'll get to a point where you're just like, you focus on your own life, you press forward, the other people are looking at you and looking at what you're doing, and your focus just doesn't get split, you know. all this distracting stuff doesn't take you off course, you know? And it's, yeah, you just, boom, you're locked in. And all this stuff that's happening around you and the noise people are making and the stuff people are doing, it doesn't even get in, you know? You just stay really, really focused. Let's see, this guy says, making videos should be easy. Keep it simple. Write it down in a journal and make sure what you say. Yeah, when I make my videos, it's all improv, baby. Like, I don't really take notes. I don't do none of that. It's just in my heart and it comes out. Not a lot of second takes here. So I remember I thought that I needed a studio and I needed microphones and I needed a sound setup. And I needed to soundproof my room and I needed all this stuff. I need that ring light behind me. And I just realized, like, an iPhone is fine. If things aren't perfect, it's fine. Just keep iterating, keep improving, keep getting better. And, you know, if you have something of substance to say, people will show up and they'll watch. And, you know, people are hungry for it too. They're hungry for the true word. They're hungry for the true message. So, you know, once you do, yeah. Adam says here, Adam's got some good stuff here. Share more of your personal stories. That's what everyone says they like. The most about my videos, the more details, the better. You don't have to name names. Yeah, very true. You know, personal stories could be good. For me, it's more like my kind of philosophy or my kind of, you know, spiritual, psychological kind of take on things. That's what's kind of the moneymaker for me. But personal stories are very good too. Personal stories work very well and are very effective. And if you've lived a wild life, like, tell some stories, man. Tell a lot of stories, you know. Tell people want to hear about this stuff. They want to hear about the stuff you got to deal with and your day to day. And for those of you who don't know, Adam's got his own channel and he's going through some homelessness and talks about his experiences there. And I've done a live with him and stuff. You know. Yeah, the storytelling, yeah, the back of your philosophy, yeah. But yeah, Adam's got some awesome stuff, and he's got really cool stories. And yeah, storytelling is important, you know, just in general, like, you know, just like how you talk about stuff, you make it interesting, you tell a story. Yeah, talking about the street theater. Dude, I get street theater at the grocery store. Like, I'll be at the grocery store, there'll be some girl, and she'll have some weird ponytail that's too tight. And she'll have some weird, like, yoga pants that go up above her belly button, and she's kind of, like, too skinny to be wearing them. And then I'll look at the apples. She's by the apples. Like, she's, like, in my field of vision. And it's freaking nuts. Awesome video with Adam. Thank you. Yeah, me and Adam will need to do another video sometime. Yeah, me and Adam will get that going. That was a very good live. We got good energy, so me and Adam will... definitely get that back together and get that back rolling for y'all. But yeah, the street theater is silly, and it just shows how weird our world is. That people feel like they have to do weird things. Random strangers do weird things to try to get your attention and to try to be in your field of vision. And yeah, you know, it's tripping. Let's see what MF says. I've been severely depressed from 13 to 1 year. I have finally put my feet underneath myself career-wise for teaching myself online. It feels too late, but yeah, you know, it's never too late. You know, keep rolling. You can do it. You know, it's good to feel grounded and to have a job and to be kind of have things figured out. Yeah, you know, and all right, talking about improv. You say you're from God. You know, cancel videos. Yeah, it's true. You gotta be careful, and Satan can sneak in and pretend to be God and can kind of cross your thoughts up a bit. You know, that can happen. That can go on. Yeah, so everybody, my throat is getting a little bit sore here. Yeah, scapegoat transformation was good. He hasn't posted in a while, so I don't know where Scapegoat Transformation is, but I hope he kind of reappears, and I could roll with him again, because he has good stuff too. He's very cool as well, so it'd be good to get back in touch with him. Yeah, but yeah, my throat's getting a little bit sore. We've been on here a long time. I know I still got 19 people in here, but yeah. I think I'm going to say a quick prayer for y'all and, reach out to God here and probably call this good. So, yeah. So, Lord God, thank you for this day. Thank you for everybody who watched this stream. I've got gratitude for everything. I'm grateful for being alive. I'm grateful for everything I have in life. I'm grateful for everybody who's supporting me. I'm grateful for my food. And, Lord God, I got so much gratitude in my heart for everything that's happening. And I never thought my channel would grow. I never thought any of this would happen. So, Lord God, I got so much gratefulness to you. And just be with us, help us, guide us, heal us, and, guide us with your gentle hand. And, Lord God, just be with us all. So, yeah. Let it be done. So we got 21 people in here, but guys, I've been going on for nearly 2 hours, so it's gonna be time to end this. So again, thank you all. I love you all. Gratitude for you all. Much, much love. For real. Much love. So yeah, I will see you all next time.